There you go. I thought we were
Yeah.
getting a preview. Let's go. There
Hello.
you go.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Mumsy. Hi, everyone. It's Everton against Bournemouth, and it's your fellow Everton team, and it's Monday night. So we're back. We're back again after the match at Craven Cottage. It only seemed like it was yesterday, but it was the day before that. But yeah, obviously celebrating that big win down there.
I never
Fulham,
thought more like singing the blues when
and
Everton win and Liverpool lose. Oh, Everton. You got me singing the blues. Sorry.
no, I think entitled to do that. It's hard not to talk about the other game, but we'll talk about the Blues, and
Yeah.
we have that song to start singing to when the whistle comes. Hopefully, we can keep the atmosphere high. It was very good at the end of that match. I mean, Fulham have got very good home form, and it didn't look likely at all. To be honest with you, I was sat there wanting to go home at half time. But then I think Everton pushed and managed to get. I mean, you get what you deserve. You don't put the ball in the back of the onion ring, onion, well, whatever you want to call it. But basically, they just didn't take the chances. They should have been out of sight first half, and
Yeah.
then obviously Everton rode the luck. But we penetrated them for much of that half, and we deserved at least a draw. And I think it was probably a bit of a smash and grab, a bit like last year in the end. So. Um, Yeah, I mean, the atmosphere was absolutely fantastic, Mabsy.
Yeah. I was watching. I couldn't go. Obviously, something ticket. But you could only hear Everton fans throughout the game. It was absolutely that away end, but absolutely rocking, especially when we won. It just you know what I mean. There's nothing better than Everton away fans, Everton fans in general rather. But yeah, it just I just can't believe it. You know, we're 37 points now. What, free from safety probably. I know we shouldn't talk like that. We should be aiming higher now, Europe. But you've got to get safe first, and then we can dream big.
We certainly can. I mean, we've kind of reached this point in the season where we're not mathematically safe, but it's all but kind of safe now. And I think we can start looking forward to some um, some good games I nearly said Goodison then at the Hill Dickinson. Of course, it's still easy to slip into that mindset, especially when I've got a model Goodison that I just put out in the downstairs living room. But yeah, on the note of us, just talking about where we are, why not start with a look at the league table? Because I think going into this, we know that it's a big game because the Cherries are also a threat to Everton's position, whatever position you kind of want to call it at this point. But there you go. You can see
Yeah,
Bournemouth. I just put them in at the end of the table there because it's tight. It's very very tight there.
of course it is. And you know what? If probably no one's guessed it, if we win against Bournemouth, we go above the shape.
Yeah, and I think that's what everyone wants.
Yeah,
Who would have
absolutely.
thought? I mean, we were following on the internal chat yesterday. It was quite a match, especially towards the end. But who would have thought that Everton would be even thinking about the goal difference that Liverpool had after they won the title? That this season we're suddenly thinking about the goal difference that we've got to them. I
I
mean,
know.
whether we can keep pace or overtake them and stay ahead, who knows? But there's only 13 games left now. And one of them is against them. So yeah, this is a big game. But Everton are guilty as charged at having this false sense of security where we go win away and we're a monster on the road. Then we come back and it's a flat game and it's 1-1 or we lose.
Yeah, and at the moment we're not on the best of times at our own stadium now. I do think it's pressure, you know, and from the fans, and there's not. I'm not criticising us because at the end of the day we only expect nothing better. Not the best is good enough. If you pardon the pun, but at the end of the day, the home form hasn't been as great. There's no getting away from that fact. There's the stonking away form. that we've had this season, which is completely out of character for Everton. And hopefully we can start emulating the last games, last 13 games now, and absolutely go on. And you know, the, sorry, I got tongue tied there. What I hate is fans going, "Oh well, the atmosphere isn't better. Well, Goodison's atmosphere was better." And you know what? The cold hard facts of the case was it just wasn't. You know, everyone's preaches Goodison at being this like atmospheric ground, and towards the end, it really wasn't. So I don't go into that mindset at all. But you know what? They need to the players need to book up their ideas. I don't know if it's the pressure of being a brand new stadium. I just don't know. But I don't think it's us. You know, you can. Yeah, it's mad the form that we're on. And again, have you seen the amount of tickets that are available on the resale?
Yeah, we'll come to that in a minute. And I think that, you know, we did expect that this would be the case, and this may well now be justification in the 52,888, because now that we're seeing kind of that rich honeymoon period, the games like this, it's a very difficult game to get to. So obviously we do have a very big local fan base. But then we have people like me that are having to take off what is best part of 2 days off work. And it's just not practical, and it puts pressure on you. And the games have been midweek constantly, and we've got Man United on a Monday night as well. And I think we've got Burnley also on a Tuesday night. And the list is endless. I can't, you know, we can probably just name a couple of games that are Saturday 3 o'clock, I think.
Yeah. Well, this is it's been a funny season. I'm not defending this at all, but it's been a funny season because I think there was 8 teams in Europe because of what happened. We got an extra place. So when you're not in Europe, you just get stuck with it. I do feel that way.
But even if you're not in Europe, sorry to interrupt, but even if you're not in Europe, you end up being part of that anyway, because you end up playing teams that are in Europe, and they invariably move it. So it doesn't matter which way you spin, and it'll be the same.
No, but I get what you're saying but the teams in Europe have to play at the weekends because they're playing Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday night. So then you as a team then get bumped to this game wasn't moved. This game was always going to be midweek anyway. But I do get where you're coming from. You know, we probably won't have a Saturday 3 p.m. for the rest of the season now because we got the shite towards the end. But that definitely won't be Saturday at 3 p.m. Man City, I very much doubt it. That's not going to be 3 p.m. So there's very little. I don't think we're going to have. I don't personally think that we are going to have a Saturday 3 p.m. until the end of the season. And
No,
I get it.
I think maybe part and parcel is the fact that, you know, nice shiny new season, new stadium, and very much a chance to feature Everton on TV quite a lot because of that. Because for every visiting side, it's their first visit, and I think that might be the reason why we've ended up with so many. In addition, obviously, to the
Of course, absolutely. And I think we're media friendly, but at the end of the day, you've got to look at it from a business point of view. That you've got to look at it from a business point of view. We're getting more money for being on TV more. I mean, hopefully that can show in the squad next season. So that's a plus. I'm not saying it's all positives. It's not. I hate the way now they changed it to a 7:30 kickoff. I absolutely can't stand that. I don't know why why it's 7:30, not 7:44, 7:45.
Well, there are other games. There are other games tomorrow, and I guess they don't want to overlap. They don't want them all starting at the same time, which
no, but it used to be 7:45 and 8 o'clock. What's wrong with that? But again, this is probably Sky because they want the showpiece game, quote unquote, at 8 o'clock. So then people can catch half an hour, switch over, after the game and switch over. That's probably
It could well be that. So Everton are 1 of 4 games tomorrow. Thanks for joining us, of course. Some people polishing off their dinner and back from work and all that. Or maybe you're watching just before kickoff. Wherever you're watching and however you're watching, thanks for joining us for the match preview against Bournemouth. We will get to the football in a minute. But of course, we will. Yeah, Chelsea Leeds is a fellow 7:30 kickoff, as well as our game against the Cherries. And then the third game also kicking off at that funny time is Spurs Newcastle. I was up at Tottenham yesterday. I didn't go to the game. I went to go-karting. But it's mad to think that people can get out of work and get there, because these stadiums aren't.
exactly.
They're absolute congestion zones, especially Tottenham.
Well,
Mad,
especially Hill
absolutely mad.
Dickinson.
Yeah,
Especially
all
Hill
of them. Yeah, of
Dickinson.
course. Well, I'm just
Because,
kind of used to. I'm just used to that.
Yeah, but you
with
got
us.
Great Howard Street, which is the main arterial road for the city, going into the Strand and onto Leeds Street and going out of the city. And then, so yeah, I'm going to have to struggle to. I'm not in work, but I've got to go into work later. I'm open. My appointment finishes on time. I'll just get the F out of there and then get my car and then drive to the game. I'm fortunate at the end of the day that I've got a parking space right by the ground. Very lucky.
Yeah.
It's just out coincidence that happened. But if getting home at 5 o'clock, then you've got to have the hassle of getting into town, walking to the ground, or getting on a train and being squashed in.
I'll tell you exactly my route tomorrow.
Go on.
I've got to pay bought my ticket a while ago, but I'm going to Lime Street and then I'll walk down. But I mean, it's just because of the kickoff. Obviously, it requires an overnight stay. So anyone traveling out of town that just can't feasibly get there and back on the same day, which is basically quite a lot of people I know.
Yeah.
And we're not just talking about people down south. I mean, and you travel anywhere that's an hour and a half further, and they are going to struggle to get a train back at any time. That could be some of the thinking, though. That could be some of the thinking. I was going to actually tell you the last kickoff, and maybe the reason why some of these is because, as you say, that big game, Man United, the form side there are going to the London Stadium, which I think is the worst stadium in the league for Premier League football.
It's horrible.
For the match against West Ham, it's awful there. And then there's 5 games tomorrow. 5 games, on Wednesday, and then there's Brentford, Arsenal on Thursday. And all of this, of course, is because the FA Cup takes the next weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so that's why we've got so many. So we've got. There's still teething issues. There's still sorting things out. You mentioned about getting in and out. They have sorted out the buses to run more freely because it has been embarrassing at times. But the 7:30, no. If anyone knows why the games are 7:30, please let us know, because that half an hour extra does make a difference. Maybe
or the 15, even the 15 minute makes that little bit of difference actually.
Well, it does.
7:45 I could cope with, but 7:30 I think it's a bit of a joke. If I'm being honest,
it's quite early and it finishes a bit early, and maybe that's in the thinking that they want kids to go, but it's still too late, if I'm honest. Either way, Tuesday night, it's not really the time you want to be playing these football matches, but it's always nice under the floodlights. So I suppose that segues nice into this match, and of course, Everton are pretty much at full strength, aren't we, in terms of the
so Moises Preza, I think it was only Jack Grealish that was obviously missing, and that's probably going to be till the end of the season. So we are technically at full strength. I think he said that he's going to, obviously he's careful about resting Shrewsbury Hall and Grealish, Brampwaite, and was it Roll? Was it Alcaraz? Sorry, to just game management more than anything else, because they are returning from long-term injuries. So, but other than that, I think it's a full strength squad. He said it was a full strength squad.
Yeah, and that's what we want, and that's all you can ask for, because December was very patchy, and then we've had injuries going into January, and it's been really hard, and the bench looked a lot stronger, and that makes a big difference. And form at home has been patchy. I'll bring us on to that actually, because with the team likely to be similar to the side that beat Fulham, maybe play better. I don't know what your thoughts on that are, but there's just not a lot I expect him to do. I just don't think you change your winning team, even though it's only 3 days.
No,
Um,
he seems to have messed around between Barry and Beto a
mm,
lot this season. Again, granted, I think they're very much of the same player, essentially. But at the end of the day, I know Corey's a big fan of. I've completely forgotten his name. Barry, sorry, Tiana Barry. And you know what? To be fair to the lad, he's starting to knock them in. So it does seem very much weird that he went. Does he start with Beto at Fulham, didn't he?
yeah, and I think
Yeah,
he could easily
yeah.
start with Beto. I think he's got him in a good position because Beto actually came on and we scored 2 goals against Fulham, and he also came on in the previous game. So I think that Bato's in a good position to start in this game if he wants to give Barry a rest, which is a sensible thing. But with us not having a game next weekend, then there's obviously a case to just put Beto back on the bench and leave it be. There's a certain confidence that you can take as a football side when you're winning, and of course, if you are winning away from home, that's mega. But I put this up because I always like to look at Everton's home form when they're playing at home against a side that are visiting away. And if you look here, our home form just isn't great. Away from home, we're brilliant. 3 wins and 2 draws. But at home, it's 3-1-1 draws. The painful defeat to Brentford, and obviously the narrow defeat to Arsenal. But it's kind of gone a bit south, and I haven't really got an exact reason behind it.
I just think that there's an expectation from the fans, and rightly so. I'm not having a go. There's high expectation from the fans. It's pressure cooker at the moment because they're
Mm.
still trying to get used to it as what we're trying to get used to it, and we're expecting them to hit the ground running. And I think that's a simple matter of it. I
Mm.
don't think there's anything trying to get you. It is a massive stadium, and you know that's it. It is teething troubles like everything else at Hill Dickinson at the present moment in time. Got to put it down to, unfortunately. I
Yeah,
don't.
my theory is that you as a home side, there is an expectation. And Zcars comes on, and at night it's amazing with those lights that go on and everything. But then within a few minutes, the game hits a pattern, and the pattern usually goes Everton are expected to kind of take the initiative and do something. And if they don't, then the crowd go a bit flat. And then invariably we give away chances and then let goal in. And that has kind of happened quite a lot. Tomorrow against Bournemouth, we've got to keep it tight, but they'll be looking at videos going, it's pretty easy to nullify Everton if we do these things, and they'll be watching past videos. But they've had a lot of score draws, you can see there away from home, and they did beat Wolves. So their away form, they're averaging just under a point a game, but their away form's okay. And of course, that's left Bournemouth in this 11th position. But crucially, only 3 points behind Everton. So if they did win, they'd have to win by 3, but they could leapfrog us. But they're certainly in an amount amongst the sorts of sides like Fulham. Big win on the weekend because you've got to beat the sides around you to finish above them. It's tight. I don't think I can remember it as tight as this, but it's so tight. Like literally, you could lose 2 games and you drop down to like 15th, and you win 2, and you're like nearly 6th, 5th. So we're maybe punching above our weight at this point. What do you think?
Yeah, I've got to say, for the past few seasons, we've been struggling. You know, at the end of the day, I think as well, there has been obviously there's been lack of investment in the squad. I mean, we only got one signing in January, a very welcome sign, I might say, but I think again we've had injuries, so I think we are slightly punching above our weights as well this season. But not complaining. I'm
Yeah.
really not. I do think,
Well,
but I do think we probably Moyes has brought him to steady the ship. Last season, which he did. You know, again, probably mid-table and then push for Europe. But you know what, we can manage amount of chance for Europe this season, and that'll be
Yeah,
so good.
I'd be quite happy if the league ended now at this position, because eighth would be really fantastic from where we've come from. But I think Moyes wants European football. At times, I don't think we've really been amazing enough to say we deserve it. But this league has been a bit topsy turvy in general. Looking at the threats for Bournemouth, they have a couple of players in the top 10 scorers, I believe. Krupi and look, we haven't really got an out and out goal scorer. Erling Haaland has the top number of goals in the league this season, 21 goals. He's scored total.
He's been off the boil, hasn't he?
He has
Recently.
He has.
So you know, at the end of the day, you know, yeah, he has been off the boil. He's still 21 goals. I'm not having a go. To be fair, I'd kill for that. To be honest.
Yeah.
So should we go through some of the comments?
Yeah, let's go through some of the comments,
yeah.
and of course, it's always good to have you on. I mean, we never announce the time, but we have other things going on in our world, and a lot of people just watch this back. So if you are watching this back, just pretend we're live, or we are live right now. Nothing is scripted.
No, that's all. And give us, obviously, if you do like this content, please like and subscribe. It does help our algorithms, etc.
It does. It does.
Mike from corporate still buzzing, going to Fulham way. IOP starts Tyreek George on the left. We're going for it as a home game. Yeah, absolutely. Hi, David. Did anyone watch David Moyes' press conference for the Everton Bournemouth game today? We did see. I saw some of it. Haven't had the time to catch all of it. Have you, Steve? Or
no, just because literally it's been hard catching your breath from everything that's been going on. But literally the main headline is obviously that Moyes has almost a full squad to choose from.
Yeah, Eugene, if you can drop in the comments what's going on there, then that'd be brilliant. Draw stamped all over it. And we've got the squad to go. We've not got the squad to go to Europe. Look at Forest and Crystal Palace. No, I totally agree. But we can. But at the end of the day, when were we going to have the squad? We've got to get it at some point. And again, we've got to aim high. At the end of the day, I'd be really, and probably people disagree, I'm sick of people turning their nose up at the Europa Conference. I'm dumbfounded by it, to be honest with you. We've not had Europe for that long. I'd take anything at this present stage.
Yeah, I mean, that would be pretty mad if we had that. I don't know. It would be sort of mixed in terms of opinions, really. But I mean, I think, there's been other sides in the league that have made a good go of that competition, and I wouldn't knock any type of European competition right now, providing you've got the squad for it. I think that's the key, is that if we had this season, you probably would say, well, we haven't really got the squad for two games in a month, 2 games in a week, all the time, and all those extra Thursday night games. I mean, it's hard to know. This is a possible lineup that I've put there with George in the team. He looked quite good when he came on, if I'm honest. But obviously, when you come on late in the game, you have more tired opposition. But it's good to see Drewsby Hall back in the side, because he kind of makes or breaks Everton.
He's a linchpin, isn't he?
Yeah,
honestly, we've missed him so much this, and he absolutely goodbye this season. To get him on board, absolutely, impeccable. Incapable getting him. He's been the linchpin this season. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, and it's really great to see. We've got to make sure that we kind of stifle Bournemouth. They're going to come and they're going to think, some sides think it's a bit of easy pickings, because they know that the crowd can kind of get a bit on top of the side. But We've got players to watch, and I think that with Drewsbury Hall, he's a sort of connector. He's a creative force in the midfield. He kind of connects the strikers and the defense. So you've got players to protect him, but without him, we look distinctly average.
Yeah, no, totally. Him and Grealish, when they're both fit, really good pairing. But sadly, Grealish, unfortunately, we haven't got Grealish for probably the rest of the season. So you got to get that. You got to get that out of my head, really, to be honest. But again, I'm made up. Tuesday Hall's back. I made up Brownthwaite's back. I want to start Tyreek George. I think he should be starting personally. But didn't he play on the under 21s or something? So he's got 3 games and 2 games in his legs.
Who's this?
Tyreek
George.
Tyreek George. I thought he played in the under 23s before.
Yeah, he might have.
Yeah.
I thought he was decent. He's got his head up. He's looking. I'm just going to put the possible Bournemouth size up there. But yeah, I think he looked decent. I mean, look, he's come from Chelsea. He's come on loan. It's probably all we could do, and he's got his head up. He's playing passes. Everton were on the ascendancy when he came on. The changes were helpful because obviously when Beto came on, Everton were able to do a bit more. But yeah, I think the problem we've got is that we just don't seem to be able to translate that away form or confidence at the Hill Dickinson, and I don't know what the solution is, but I think if we've just got more threat generally up front, that will help. As you say, it might be just bedding in, but we've definitely got to watch some of these Fulham attackers who are going to probably come and want to spoil a party. Krupe, obviously, is in the top scorers, and they're a side of decent quality, so they'll be coming with a way form that they think they can probably get at least a point, which I suppose brings us nicely on to it's that time of the show.
The scores of the doors.
Yeah, exactly. So it's you want to go first, but it's a tight one.
I think 1-0 to Everton.
Yeah.
But I think it's a scrappy game, and it's just gonna. I think it's 1-0 or we'll win it. Just scrape it.
Yeah, I mean, if I was betting, I'd go 1-1, just because if you look at the form guide there, you'd say, well, we're 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. So you'd be going, 1-1. But it's not. It doesn't always work like that. I think 1-0's a good shout. I think I'm going to go 2-1 to Everton. I think we'll do the business. I think we'll let a goal, just because we have quite a lot recently, and I think Bournemouth will probably pose a threat, as many away sides have. Don't think we'll keep a clean sheet, but hope we'll be proven wrong. So yeah, bang on 30 minutes. I'd just like to say thanks everyone for supporting the channel, and we love having you on here as guests, and we'll be going live post-match, whether it's from Mabbsy's car or from wherever. The street. I was hanging around the Craven Cottage the other day and never managed to get on. But yeah, we'll be going live, win, lose, or draw. And of course, make sure you tell everyone you know, because we love having new subscribers, and we'll shout them all out as they join. And and it's great. And being part of the Everton community, of course, is key. And let's wrap up for today. But it was really good to go through and chat about this match tomorrow, Mabbsy, and look forward to catching you on the evening. And of course, fingers crossed we can bring home the 3 points.
Absolutely, up the fucking toffees.
And from me, up the toffees. Bye for now.